Here's what's happening in Golden Bear athletics. In women's bowling, the Golden Bears earned their first 11-0 start to a season as they won all of their Baker matches last weekend. The sweep included 4 wins against conference foes. Senior Deanna Dorado was named to the all-tournament team. The undefeated Golden Bears look to continue their success this week in Norfolk, Virginia for the Hampton Roads Invite. KU Swimming began its season last weekend in victorious fashion, defeating Mansfield 114-85. The season continues with a tri-meet against East Stroudsburg and Misericordia today. In women's soccer, the Maroon and Gold defeated Edinburgh 2-1 at Keystone Field Tuesday to improve to 9-5 in the PSAC. Sam Costello scored the first goal and Mariah Dim scored the game-winning goal. KU plays its lone non-conference game this Monday at home against Alderson Broaddus starting at 2 p.m. KU field hockey dropped to 2-5 in the conference after a 4-0 loss Wednesday at 5th-ranked Westchester. The Golden Bears host Seton Hill tonight at 7 p.m. at University Field. In volleyball, Kutztown lost its final 4 PSAC crossover matches last weekend. Kutztown plays at Cheney this afternoon. KU golf finished 3rd last weekend in the PSAC championships. Freshman Madison Beer put together the best score of any Golden Bear and finished 9th individually. Madison Houseel tied for 10th place. And this weekend, Kutztown hosted the cross-country championship. For results on that meet, as well as daily updates and information about the Golden Bears, log on to kubears.com. Our first guest this week is the head coach of the KU men's basketball team entering his 14th season, Bernie Driscoll, with practice already underway. How have things gone so far this season, and what do you expect from your team this year?
Well, we have a lot of new players this year. We have 10 freshmen and 2 transfers, so it's been a little bit of an indoctrination and introduction to what we want to accomplish.
Is it tougher for you to learn the new players or for the new players to learn you in the system?
I think the hardest part is for all these guys are probably their best player on their high school team, and for them to come in and adapt and really sacrifice to what we're trying to accomplish is probably the hardest thing for the young guys to do.
Certainly last year was a bit of a tough year, and that hasn't been the case around here for many, many years. How do you bounce back from that?
I think you learn from it. I think we did as a staff. Certainly it was a difficult year, but it was a year where, a certain amount of things you have no control, just went against us. But there were some lessons that we learned as a staff. I think we changed our recruiting a little bit, and I think it'll pay dividends for us down the road.
You have a pretty big day on campus today, homecoming weekend. It started with the alumni game this morning. How important is it for you to have those guys come back to campus?
Well, for us, it's extremely important. For us the successes that we've had in the league and in the PSAC is, Jeff Brickus and Bilal Salaam and Woody and Bobby Everhart and Mark Bauer. All these guys coming back are really the foundations for what we established, 14 years ago. And they were the first recruiting class, and they really have to let these guys know what it means to be a Kutztown basketball player.
Tonight, your guys will take the court as well in a scrimmage. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Scott Blair, graduate of 2006, is the head coach of SUNY ESF, and we kind of invited him down for a homecoming. It's a big game for them, and for us, it's a good way to play somebody else, just somebody different in practice, and see where we are as a team right now.
You mentioned Bilal Salaam. He'll be our next guest this week. He's going into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame next month. What was his impact on the program and the type of player that he was?
Well, the good Lord gave me Jeff Brickus and Bilal Salaam as my first recruiting class. And, Jeff's obvious history was great, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And Bilal was just the very quiet, unassuming, outstanding player. It was really the glue that held us together. Very, very low-key, never got too excited, never, just played the game as he enjoyed the game. And the other part, he was a great student. And it was good for us to make that transition from a basketball program to a program that has student athletes where they all graduate, and he set a great example for the future for our kids.
2 weeks ago, we had the chance to talk to Stephen Dennis, who unfortunately was injured in Australia. What was his impact on your program?
Well, he's a Division II Player of the Year. I mean, Stephen is, Stephen's once-in-a-lifetime player, and you put around him, a really great supporting cast. But Steve is hurt right now. I think he's going to be okay. He's hopefully going to try to make it back for homecoming today, and we look forward to seeing him.
Well, Bernie, we appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a busy part of your schedule. Best of luck in this season.
Thank you very much.
KU men's basketball coach Bernie Driscoll, our guest. When we come back, we'll talk with Bilal Salaam when the Gold Rush continues in just a moment. Welcome back to this week's KU Gold Rush Report. I'm Steve Degler. Our next guest is one of 6 inductees next month in the KU Athletics Hall of Fame. It is former men's basketball player Bilal Salaam, who played from 2001 to 2005 for the Golden Bears. And first of all, Bilal, congratulations on the Hall of Fame induction. What does this honor mean to you?
means a lot. I mean, you go out there and you play the game, and you play it just for the honor, to be an honor, as far as honoring your family, yourself, and the pride of Kutztown basketball. You don't do it for the Hall of Fame honor. I don't think you ever necessarily think about that while you're out there playing. But to receive the honor is tremendous, and it really means a lot. It really means that I feel really appreciated, and it just really means a lot. I was lost for words when I received the call, and I just am so thankful that the Hall of Fame, I guess, council or the Hall of Fame members recognized me.
We had Coach Driscoll on earlier in the show, and he mentioned how you and Jeff Brickus were part of his first recruiting class. What led you to come to Kutztown to play your basketball?
Oh, well, it was a process of actually, because I went to Delaware State first, and I went to Delaware State, and I was growing during the time, so I actually went and transferred from Delaware State. And then I sat out a year because I was growing. I grew 2 inches my freshman year at Delaware State. I grew another 2 inches afterwards, the year after. And I went from being 6'3" to 6'7". And once Kutztown gave me the opportunity to play or offer me a scholarship, I just jumped on it. It was the place that I visited and just automatically knew that would be my home.
Let me throw some numbers out there and then get your reaction. You set school and PSAC career shot blocking records, third all-time in Division II, 408 rejections. All-time leading rebounder at Kutztown, 980. Eighth in scoring, 1,342 points. You had 35 career double-doubles, 2 triple-doubles, the only 2 in Kutztown history. When you hear those numbers and know that records still stand, what does that mean to you?
It really means a lot. I mean, to know that those records still stand, and to know that I was a part of making a difference in Kutztown men's basketball. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I never thought that I would be in the Hall of Fame or be make such a big difference. But you go out there each night and you just play for the love of the game, and to still have those records, and when I first found out that I got a triple-double after the game, I think I might have had like 25, 10 and 10, or 20, 10 and 10 in the first triple-double, and it was all just playing. And it was a little, I think that was the game that we lost, our first one, but then when I had 15, 15, and 11, we actually won that game, so I was really happy about the second triple-double. And just the shot blocking was just something that came naturally to me. So,
I want to ask you about that. You were a high-flying guy. Would you rather throw down a dunk on the offensive end or come up with a rejection on the defensive side?
I would actually, I love blocking shots. I love blocking shots, and I think that's how we as a team, my junior year, got so far into the PSAC tournament. We almost won the league. I think it was on the defensive end. I take pride in defense. I mean, that's something that you have control of every night, to go out there and defend. And I mean, that's just what I love to do.
We're talking with former KU basketball player Bilal Salaam. He'll be inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame next month. You mentioned some of the team's success, a PSAC championship, your last 3 years, 51 and 33. When you look at the success you had as a team and as an individual, what are some of your best memories here at Kutztown?
I want to say that during my junior year, we had a great group of guys. I think that was also the year when we played Bloomsburg, ended up winning the game with a dunk. But it's just the time that I had with the guys out there, Jeff Perkins, Ty Burkett, Bobby Everhart, TJ Mann, all of those guys. I mean, Al Brown, Vince Peace, Doc Moyer. I mean, just having the time with them on the court and off the court. I mean, just learning those guys. It was just amazing. I had an amazing time, and it's memories that I'll always keep and hold and cherish.
I know you continued to play after you left Kutztown. What are you up to these days?
Right now, like I said, I'm in Sacramento, California. I just had a D-League tryout to play in the NBA Developmental League, and I got a call back from the Reno Bighorns, so I should be playing for them. I believe our first game is November 22nd, and I think it's in Sioux Falls, I believe, on November 22nd. So I'll be there for the Hall of Fame induction, and then I'll be leaving immediately after to get ready to play in a game.
Well, that is great news. More congratulations for you. We really appreciate you taking the time. We look forward to having you back on campus next month for the induction ceremony.
Thanks.
Bilal Salaam, our guest this week. We also want to thank head coach of the men's basketball team, Bernie Driscoll. That'll do it for the KU Gold Rush Report. Second half kickoff comes your way in just a moment.